After spending a whole month at a stretch watching this medical drama, I've come to a startling realization. Meredith Grey is a total trouble magnet. I've laughed, cried, and gasped at the outrageous antics of the show's namesake. And let me tell you, it's been a wild ride. So join me as I expose the shocking crimes committed by the infamous Meredith Grey. From insurance fraud to medical malpractice, we're diving into the dark side of Grey Sloan Memorial. Let's start with insurance fraud. This one's a doozy.
A plan.
Yeah, those are two different things. You heard her. She's got a plan. Go prep the patient.
In the episode What I Did for Love, Meredith meets a patient who needed surgery, but whose dad was a little light in the wallet.
Lucid.
Surgery? I have no way to... Maybe we should wait until I can find a second job.
And Meredith, being the heroine in a medical gown, decided to get creative. She fabricated a hospital admission, and here's the kicker.
She's been scheduled for an X-lab.
Richard.
Did you put your daughter's name down on the insurance forms? Tell me you didn't.
She used her own daughter, Ellis, as the patient in need of surgery, with the hopes to use Ellis's health insurance coverage to save her actual patient.
Treatment facilities?
No, I'm not shipping this little girl off to county. She may need follow-up surgeries.
Because, you know, who needs medical bills when you've got a handy insurance workaround? Talk about bending rules. It's like having a get out of medical bills free card. If only we all had doctors like Meredith, who'd ever bother with medical treatment bills again. If Meredith's to be charged for this crime according to the US law,
Meredith, insurance fraud. You have 3 children.
Who live very comfortably and want for nothing.
she'd be sentenced to 10 years with a fine of $250,000 and twice the financial loss. Of course, that was just the beginning. Meredith also tampered with clinical trials, putting patients' lives at risk. Who could forget the time she altered the course of a clinical trial to ensure Adele Weber received the active drug? This happened to be one of the darkest moments in Grey's Anatomy history. As the consequences of her actions led to Adele's condition worsening, she eventually passed away.
No. When?
A little while ago.
What happened?
A heart attack.
With this crime, Meredith's future hangs in the balance. She's facing 5 to 10 years imprisonment for fraud, research misconduct, and medical malpractice, accompanied by a hefty $500,000 fine. Her medical license likely revoked. Her reputation irrevocably damaged. The question remains, will Meredith's passion for medicine be her ultimate downfall? That's not all. She's also guilty of assisting in covering an assault.
Oh, this is really bad.
I know. I went crazy.
Remember when Alex Karev assaulted Andrew DeLuca? Well, yes. Meredith was right in the middle of it, helping to conceal the truth. She helped cover up the incident. She cleaned up the scene, tends to DeLuca's injuries, and convinces him not to report the incident. Meredith's slate just got a whole lot dirtier. She's staring down a 5 to 10 years prison sentence and a $250,000 crime fine. Obstruction of justice, tampering with evidence, and conspiracy. The charges are piling up. Her actions protected a friend, but at what cost? This leads us to her next crime. For she's not just a bystander, she's also taken matters into her hands. Yeah, kidnapping is also added to her list of crimes, as Meredith takes her parenting skills to a whole new level, literally. And her adopted daughter, Zola,
I think I stole a baby.
happens to be her experimental case. In this episode, Meredith and Derek navigate the complex world of adoption. However, Meredith and Derek adoption hit a roadblock when the social worker in charge of Zola's adoption case realized that Meredith had lost her job and is also living apart from Derek. This made the social worker raise a suspicious eye over Meredith's parental abilities. Meredith, feeling her mama bear instincts kick in, decides to take matters into her own hands, rather, her own car. So, she swoops in, scoops up Zola, and makes a break for it, essentially kidnapping her own adopted daughter.
Okay, first of all, you didn't steal the baby. She's your baby.
So, if you ever find yourself needing to rescue your child from the system, just remember, Meredith shouldn't be your role model. because she would have earned herself a 3 years imprisonment and $250,000. Amazingly, there's more in Meredith's crimes to-do list, and this time she went overboard. Meredith's known to push the boundaries of medical ethics. And yes, she revived a DNR patient against their wish.
You little schnook. You were supposed to let her die.
She also assisted in unplugging a patient's life support. Meredith's like a medical wild child, always looking for ways to shake things up. Meredith was complicit
Condition ourselves. We get the blood work, we do the echo, and no one even has to know.
in Izzy Stevens' shocking plan to cut Denny Duquette's LVAD wire. Izzy, who had fallen in love with Denny,
Well, I wouldn't have fallen in love with a patient. Do you?
wanted to move him up the heart transplant list. By cutting the wire, Denny's condition would deteriorate,
Izzy, this is crazy. He has to get this hurt. He will die waiting for...
making him a higher priority for a transplant. Meredith, though initially hesitant, ultimately agreed to keep Izzy's secret, making her complicit in the dangerous and unethical plan.
All I have to do is confirm that his condition is worse, and then
This reckless move catapults him to the top of the transplant list. And let's not forget the potential legal consequences: attempted manslaughter, criminal negligence. Yeah, it's a real laugh riot. With up to 10 to 25 years in prison, depending on intent and jurisdiction, the stakes are high. Her actions are a recipe for disaster, leaving a trail of destruction in her wake. No biggie, just a potential felony conviction hanging over her head. Following up is the medical malpractice crime. Right in the 17th episode of Season 8, Meredith and Lexi Gray's surgical skills were put under the microscope. Let's just say they didn't exactly ace the test.
I mean, this is my fault too. I shouldn't have let you do it.
Complications arose,
Just Dan's speech, and she knows what she wants to say, but she can't say it. Okay, well, just...
and before they knew it, they were staring down the barrel of a medical malpractice lawsuit. The potential consequences are dire: fines, license revocation, and even imprisonment. With reputations on the line, the stress is palpable. Medical malpractice, a harsh reality. The fallout could be catastrophic, damaging careers and lives forever. The scrutiny is intense, with every move being watched and criticized. They definitely won't be getting out of this unscathed. And here's to the lady whose love life is also a crime, with her several unprofessional misconduct. Throughout the series, Meredith has engaged in personal relationships with both superiors, juniors, and colleagues, which could be deemed unprofessional and against hospital policies. From Meredith Gray's affair with Andrew DeLuca, which sparked controversy, blurring professional boundaries as her intern turned lover reported directly to her. Meredith's whirlwind romance with Derek Shepherd ignited passion, but their supervisor-intern relationship raised eyebrows and ethics concerns. Meredith just doesn't care about hospital rules and ethics. It makes me wonder if she ever learned about maintaining professional boundaries, confidentiality, and respect for colleagues, core principles of medical ethics.
all I have to do is confirm that his condition is worse, and then
Did she skip that class? Well, I think so. Yeah, she obviously did. But she might slip away from this crime with some disciplinary actions, suspension, or termination of employment. Poor Derek Shepherd, her beloved McDreamy, spent a night in the slammer for his reckless antics.
Meredith.
And then there's Andrew DeLuca, the resident hero who took the fall for Meredith's insurance fraud.
She didn't have insurance, and she shouldn't have been admitted.
Because, you know, chivalry isn't dead, or is it? Additionally, Richard Weber, the former chief of surgery, also helped Meredith cover up some of her mistakes, using his authority and influence to protect her.
Sometimes putting my career in jeopardy for her.
Well, Christina Yang, Meredith's person and best friend,
We're not married. You're not my...
was not left out, as she helped cover up Meredith's insurance fraud and other mistakes throughout the series. While she didn't directly take the fall, she was complicit in helping Meredith avoid consequences.
You didn't steal the baby. She's your baby.
What you did is...
It seems Meredith's got a knack for getting others to do her time. Maybe she should start a crime syndicate. Meredith's Minions has a nice ring to it. All joking aside, it's clear that Meredith's actions have consequences, even if she doesn't always face them herself. Maybe next time she'll think twice before bending those rules. With the best of intentions, she's always managed to go wrong, leaving us questioning her life choices. And, considering the severity of her crimes, Meredith would be sentenced to 50 to 60 years in prison, $1.5 to $2 million fines, revocation of medical license, and probation, community service. One thing's for sure, Meredith Gray's got a rap sheet a mile long. She's like the Walter White of surgical residents, minus the whole meth empire thing. So, the next time you're feeling guilty about something, just remember, Meredith Gray's done worse, much worse, like assisting in cutting a patient's LVAD wire worse. But hey, at least she's consistent, right? Meredith's antics have kept us entertained for seasons, and we can't help but love her for it. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through Meredith's crimes. If you're feeling guilty about something now, just take a deep breath and remind yourself, it's not like you're a surgical resident with a penchant for medical malpractice. Or are you? Let me know in the comment section. And hey, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.